Hey everyone, as you know, I like to make quick, concise videos. However, I was unable to do that for these, so I'm adding in bits on front of the original video that's going to quickly explain how this all works. So for starters, you want to look at the price you are buying it for, and then look at the price below each town name. In this instance, Central Guard Camp is going to pay the most at 14,000 compared to the 9,000 I'm paying to buy this. That is the simplistic look, buy there, go there, if you are buying and immediately heading to your destination. That is how you want to handle that part. Next, you want to ensure that the town you are starting from and the town that you are going to are connected via the orange lines, which you do that by investing in every node that is connected in the chain from the starting point to the ending point. Which you do that by finding the node manager at each of those points and investing in contribution point. Contribution points you get from completing quests, doing other things in game. You just get them as you play the game. Alright, thank you for listening to me ramble. And now here is the full length video that I couldn't cut down to this short amount of explanation. Hey everyone. So, bit of disclaimer here. I only started playing this game about a week ago, but there are some things that I would like to share with you all. Now, while my knowledge might not be exactly accurate to how it functions, it works. It works. So what I want to go over with first is node management and trade routes. Mostly because that's what I really got into first. So, let's start off here in Velia with the trade manager. When you go into the trade menu, and then over to buy, well, one, you can see here where it just shows pricing of every item currently for this town. Or if you go to buy, let's just go with this first one here. If you can see the cost it has, how much inventory they have, and how long this price is guaranteed for. And also you get a handy little chart over to the side. Now, with that handy little chart over to the side, from my understanding, I've tested this a few times, and it seems to be proper majority of the time. Googling this and other guides say that this is how it is, but from what my personal experience, it only seems to be it most of the time. That middle, the dot off to the left is where the price currently is at, and the dot off to the right is where it will be in the future. That's what they all say. That seems to be the case most of the time. Now, you can spend 1 energy to view the price in every other area that you've been in. And the same rule applies. This is where it's currently at. This is where it's going to be. But you really only care about this number right here. Because if you make these runs immediately, this won't change. Or it'll fluctuate very slightly. So essentially, this is what you're paying. And this is what you'll get if you sell there. If you go straight there. So you'd want to look for, you know, profitable places. Which for this, it looks like Central Guard Camp would be the best. Let's see if I can't find... You know what? No. One thing that I have found... That is nice. That is nice. That is better. I'll be back for this. Okay. On top of this, you will want to make sure that if you are going to a different area, such as Central Guard Camp was where those were, the nice prices were, you want to make sure the nodes all are connected some way with the orange lines as opposed to the white lines. If a node is not connected all the way through from where you start to where you're selling with the orange lines, you will suffer a 10% penalty for the selling price. Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to make your way to each node and talk to the node manager and then invest a contribution point into the node. And that's how you activate them. And you're going to need to do that through the entire chain all the way down to where you want to be selling. For example, I'm just going to run over to Violet Farm, because it's the closest one to Velia, and where I got started doing all the trading. You're going to want to find the node management here, which here it's Batali. Then node management, and over here will be invest, which you will need a contribution point for. And you get contribution points for doing certain quests and activities. And once you contribute, that's how you get this orange line. You just got to make a path of nodes to where you need to go. Now, say you want to contribute somewhere like here, Kron Castle. There's no lines from Finto Farm or Ewaz Hill connecting to Kron Castle. So that means neither of these will connect that way. So, if you wanted to get Kron Castle, you need to connect the previous node. Which, if you click previous node, will lead you to where the previous one is. Or it does look like Ewaz Hill is. So in order to obtain Kron Castle, you would first need to get Ewaz Hill. An example of this, you will probably get either Coastal Cliff or Coastal Cave early on in your game. Actually, no. I'm sorry. You'll probably get like Belonos River Hill, Wolf Hills, or Olvia before you find these places, unless you like to explore every bit of the map that you're on. And you just need to keep clicking previous node and connect your way all the way through. Because I didn't have Coastal Cliff or Belonos Rivermouth. So when I clicked previous node, it led me to Belonos Rivermouth, which this one led me to Wolf Hills, which then led me to Casta Farm. So once you get the town, you already have the town node. You then have to branch off from the town in the direction you need to go. Such as right here. Good example. Ancient Stone Chamber. You can't contribute because I don't have the previous connecting one. The previous node is Forest Seclusion, which I can invest here. If you invest remotely, it takes 10 energy away. However, if you go there and find the node manager, Fairy Nest, then you don't have to spend the energy. And once I invest in this, it'll unlock my ability to invest in this. Which then I'll be able to... Well, yeah, then I'll be able to sell here without the added fee. Words are hard. Like, I would be able to sell in Delphi Knight Castle because I connect it all the way through to Velia that way. And as another example, I have some items in my inventory from Ewaz Hill, but because I never connected Ewaz Hill to Finto Farm,
black energy haunts me in my dreams every night. I always wake up out of fear.
I'm getting the 30% fee added. So I'm making 30% less than I would because I did not connect Ewaz Hill to Bertarli Farm. Which is all you need to do. Now, something that I found out, again, worked for me. A good way to... A very decent profit, normally, is Velian fresh eggs to Velia. And it's the shortest walk, too. So I would just take all that I could. Then you get backpack, which means you move slower. However, you are training up strength, I think it is, when you're walking with this. So you are gaining strength experience for this. And if you just walk this back and forth to Velia, whenever the restock happens, it's a good way to make an early profit. Now, like, there is running and stuff like that, but you still move much slower, which is fair. Yeah, I normally cut down by that thing. I forget what that's called. Ooh, look, a ship. That ring. That ring always been there? Huh. Never noticed it before. And I spent all my time in Velia. So now, when we get to the dude to sell it to, that guard just teleported. There's an extra minigame, which is a different skill set from the trading skill set, which is bartering. Now, again, I have not looked up the mechanics. I don't know the exact way these all look. This is what I've learned in my first week of playing, and it works for me. The minigame coming up to get a better price.
I'm a merchant.
So sell, bargain game, cost 5 energy, and you just need to try and make these even with each other. It seems this moves it a little bit, and boldly moves it a lot. And there's no just like pass. And if you do it properly where they're even, the price then goes up. Bargain bonus applied. And you just sell and you get... This number here is how much profit you're making. So this isn't what you're selling it for. This is, and this is how much profit you're making off the sale. Which is really nice that it shows that. So for each of these 12 eggs, I'm making about 3.6k profit. And that is how I got started training my trading skill. Mostly through Batarli farm eggs to Velia. The price seems to always be a profit of at least, I think the lowest I ever got was 1.2k profit. But it's still a profit, and it's a good way to raise that trading skill so that way you have access to these higher ones that you need the higher skill to be able to purchase. This was the really nice one, right? 26k? The 52? The 68 in Central Guard Camp? Yeah. So another thing, once you do that enough times to make a decent profit, come over to the Stable Master, and you can buy... Where is it? You can buy a wagon. I went straight to the farm wagon because I didn't look at the Stable Master for a long time and I had enough profit to do it. And then when you get that, when you get the trade wagon, you can hold much more inventory for selling, and it's easier to do it at a larger distance instead of walking all the time. Come on. There we go.
Market price is never fixed.
So, take 5. You can see your mount has its own weight and inventory. So I can hold 14 in the wagon, but not that much weight. And since I'm going overweight, my wagon's going to move slower. But I think it's worth it to move slower if it gives you that nice profit. And you can always just right-click on the trading guy, so it sets the path, and set your amount to go. Now, disclaimer, when you get into distance... Okay. When you get into distance trading like this and you want to just auto-set the path, you're going to want to look out for these icons. These are... It's a bandit-free pathway so far. These are bandits on the road. Bandits will spawn and attack you as you are walking. They are powerful. You get the little black spirit orb saying, don't fight these, just run, because they're too powerful for you. But what I found, this is my remaining health after being attacked about 5 times. So your cart can take a punishment, and they do eventually leave you alone, which is nice. And at this point, once you get the wagon, and you enter the trading game this way, you can just AFK it and leave till you reach your destination. There is also such a thing as a distance bonus. So if you buy something over here in Olvia, if you buy a trading good in Olvia, you have all the nodes connect it through, in my example, the glitch, which I do have one long line, you will get an added percentage bonus to your profit for that distance. Now, in my personal experience, I have not found many goods offered in Ovia that sell for a good enough profit in Glitch. So I've never had to make that long of a run because it's never made sense to. I've always had better profit from Ovia around Bartali Farm and Pinto Farm. Even within the added distance bonus, it never equates to being better. Alright. Now that we made it here, we just gotta find the trade manager. Make sure the cart is close enough to them. I always just make sure I get the little white ring like that. And then you just go up to him.
Are you here to trade with me?
Trade. Don't forget to try the bargain game. Because 44,000 profit. Bargain game. Let's see if we can do this. Alright, I failed. You can retry it for another 5 energy, so let's do it. Alright. And now 59. That was a plus, what was that? 15,000 profit? And as you can see, there is going to be a distance bonus added of 11% because it came from Velia to here. So these are now selling for 59,000 profit. Load up the trade skill. And one thing I like to do, because I like to be based in Velia, I like to... He only has 2 things for sale. A bunch of spiderwebs. I like to try and find if there's something that can get me back to my starting point for a profit. Like, it may not be a great profit, but it's still a profit. Which really, again, you just want to be looking at these prices. This does matter in the long run if you play that type of version of it, like game where you say you want to like buy it when it's here, but wait to sell it when it's there. But I don't know how long it takes to get from here to there. I don't know what the timing is on these graphs, and I would love to know. If anyone does know, please let me know, because I really, really want to know what the timing on that is. It would change a lot. And then I just get myself back to my starting point. Of course, you know, sometimes they get stuck like that. And that is basically all there is to leveling up the trading. Once you do it enough times to make a decent profit, then you can just start buying bigger and better things and making larger profit. But essentially, I recommend starting off just selling eggs from Bartali Farm to Velia to make that nice enough profit so you can level up the skill, and then getting a wagon when you can. That way you can buy and sell more to get the skill up even quicker. In the next video, I'll go over more about production and the marketplace. So, I hope this helped. Once again, I've only been playing the game for a week. These are things that I learned in the week that I think would be helpful to know. This may not be the exact science as to how this all works, but it works for me. So I would hope that it works for you and gives a better understanding of how these things function. So thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!